Right now, Pennsylvania state Republicans are targeting voting laws and trying to increase their control over the courts after losing a legal battle to contest the presidential election results. A new report from the bipartisan Brennan Center found that the state is the launching pad for 14 legislative proposals to restrict or complicate access to voting. That is the most of any state in this country. The New York Times points out that there seems to be strong Republican support for eliminating drop boxes for absentee ballots, discarding mail-in ballots with technical errors, and ending a grace period for receiving ballots mailed by Election Day. Joining me now is Democratic Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro. He's also a former member of the Pennsylvania State Legislature. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much for your time. So less than a year, I guess a year and a half ago, a majority of Pennsylvania Republicans voted to change the laws to relax registration deadlines and allow voting by mail for everyone. What has happened? How are we getting to this point?
Yeah, and not only was it a majority of Republicans, more Republicans voted for what is commonly referred to here as Act 77, our vote by mail statute. More Republicans voted for it than Democrats did. Well, Donald Trump happened. Donald Trump began railing against vote by mail even before a single ballot was cast. He filed, by the way, 19 different lawsuits to try and make it harder for people to vote before a single vote was cast. We beat him every single time, by the way. And then, of course, the election results turn out the way they did. We had a safe and secure election. Donald Trump lost Pennsylvania. And these Republicans, as part of a broader effort to disenfranchise certain voters in this Commonwealth and indeed across the country, are now engaged in an effort to try and undermine the law that they voted for in the first place. They will fail. This will not be successful. And we need to make it easier for people to cast their lawful votes, not harder.
And it's not just laws that they're trying to implement. They're going after the judiciary as well. And I want to focus on that for a moment because a GOP proposal would replace the current system, as I understand it, of statewide elections for judges with judicial districts drawn by the Republican-controlled legislature, which, as the Times notes, could empower rural, predominantly conservative areas and particularly rewire the state Supreme Court, which, again, as you know, has a 5-2 Democratic lean. If this happens, what would be the impact, and is there any way your party can fight it?
Well, again, part of a broader strategy to disenfranchise people. They try and make it harder for you to vote in elections. Now they want to take away your ability to elect your judges here in Pennsylvania and instead replace it with a system where really the politicians pick the judges as opposed to the people. What they're really trying to do, let's be very real about this, is rig the system in a way that throws out the delicate checks and balances that exists in our Commonwealth today. They want to put them and their interests and their corporate backers and their Trump backers in charge of the decision-making as opposed to the people. And so while they work overtime to try and take away the power of the people, I'm working just as hard, and we've got a very strong track record, as you know, here in Pennsylvania, of standing up for the people, for enfranchisement, and for making sure that this proposal goes absolutely nowhere in Harrisburg.
Okay, so that's a great point about what you're doing, and I wanted to ask you specifically about investigations. You obviously know there's an investigation underway in Georgia into then-President Trump's interference in their election. You talked about the efforts in your state. In December, the Washington Post and others reported that Trump had asked the Pennsylvania House Speaker for help overturning the election results in Pennsylvania. We should note Speaker Cutler said he didn't view the calls as pressure to do anything. We know about Georgia because there was a recording of the phone call that is now the basis for that investigation. But are there any plans by your office to investigate what President Trump may have done or allegedly did in your state to overturn the elections there?
Well, look, I appreciate your question. I'm not going to comment on that in this setting. I can tell you we take very, very seriously our election laws. We worked overtime to protect and secure and ensure that every lawful vote was counted here in Pennsylvania. We will not stand for any interference in that process by anyone, including the former president.
Okay, I appreciate that. Let me ask you finally, if I can, about your political future. Are you considering a run for Senate in 2022?
I am not, no. Look, I enjoy what I'm doing here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I'm going to continue to do my work as the Attorney General. And I can assure you I'm not going to be a candidate for the Senate.
All right, Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro, sir, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.